Bhagavate Vaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna once again. Thank you so much for joining. And we will continue with Bhagavad Gita as it is. We had started chapter number 11, which is the universal form, chapter 11 of the Bhagavad Gita. So today we will continue from verse number 32 in Sanskrit. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kalo Asmi Lokakshaya Krita Pravriddho Lokan Samahritam Iha Pravrittaha Priteyapi Tvam Na Bhavishyanti Sarve Ye Avasthitaha Pratiyanikeshu Yodhaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So I think we have Putra Motiram joining us for the first time, and Nashaya also. Welcome, VB. Thank you so much for joining. So we are actually continuing with the ancient Vedic literature called the Bhagavad Gita as it is. And we have reached chapter number 11, the universal form. So here we can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He is boldly declaring that he is time. Time is eternal. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is giving an indication to Arjuna. Arjuna, who was the religious person with his four brothers, all the five Pandavas, they were in the battlefield fighting against the irreligious people. So here we saw even in chapter 1 and 2, Arjuna was very morose. He was confused. He didn't know what to do, what not to do, what is right, what is wrong. So Krishna gave him this knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, and to convince him of his victory in the battlefield, he is stating it very clearly that all of these irreligious people are going to die. They all are, because Krishna says, I am the Supreme Lord. Time is, I am the eternal time, so I will decide. And so Arjuna is being informed by Krishna that all plans are made by him. We've heard this before, that man proposes, God disposes. It is up to the Lord to decide what needs to be done. Based on our karma, we get good or bad reactions based on our past actions. So because all these religious people, they have been irreligious all their lives, now it was time for them to come to an end. In other words, they had to face death. So here Krishna is telling Arjuna that all plans are made by me, but he likes to give the credit to his devotees. Now, if Krishna wanted, with just a snap of his finger, he could have killed all those religious people. But no, he wanted to give credit to his pure devotee, that is Arjuna. So in Bhagavad Gita, we also understand that everything comes from Krishna and everything goes back. So all we have to do is we just come into this material world and go through our karmic reactions. But Bhagavad Gita also teaches us that we should lead our lives in such a way that we lead a religious life, but in such a way, in such consciousness, that at the time of death, we think of the Supreme Lord Krishna and do not come back into this material world. Now, in this verse, he is also giving an indication to us the purpose of his coming down to this earthly planet 5,000 years ago. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya. He came because he saw that irreligion was rising, religion was going down. He came to protect his devotees and to annihilate the miscreants, you see. And dharma samsthapana, he also came to re-establish religion. So this is the purpose, and that is why he is assuring Arjuna and his brothers, all the Pandavas, that they will be victorious. So here we see that in the previous verses, we saw that Krishna showed his universal form to Arjuna, in which Arjuna could see that all these people who were going to die, he saw them all entering into the mouth of Krishna, that big universal form. So Arjuna was a little bit puzzled. He was also a little shaken up by this huge universal form of Krishna, which he had never seen before. So he is inquiring from, in the further verses, he inquires from Krishna, what is the mission of your universal form, and why have you presented yourself in this form to me, which is like an all-devouring time? And, Arjuna, he was actually trying to avoid the fight, trying to avoid frustration, but Krishna was showing him through the universal form that all these people whom you think they are mine, they are my relatives, they are my friends, etc., they all are going to die anyway. Bhagavad Gita teaches us, for those who have taken birth, they are sure to die. And after birth, one is sure to be born again. But one who becomes fully self-realized, who becomes fully Krishna conscious, then at the time of death, that person does not come back into this material world of miseries, but goes back to the spiritual world from where he actually belongs. So Arjuna, he is being shown this universal form. Of course, there is another reason also, is giving proof that all along these chapters, Krishna has been telling Arjuna that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now theoretically, we understood Krishna is Supreme Lord, but now here, practically, he's demonstrating how he is the Supreme Lord. He shows that universal form in which we heard and we read that everything was within that form. The sun, the moon, the stars, all people, all living entities, everything was within Krishna. So here, Krishna, after giving all this knowledge, now he's telling Arjuna, get up and fight. That is your prescribed duty, because Arjuna was a Kshatriya, he was a warrior, and his soldier, his duty was to fight in the battle. And he tells Arjuna, get up and fight and win glory. I have already explained to you that all these religious are going to die anyway. So I want you to get up and fulfill my mission. It is my will that you take part in this battle and become my instrument. So he's encouraging Arjuna after giving him all the knowledge. You are not this body, you are the spirit, soul, etc., etc. So now he is encouraging him to fulfill the plan of the Supreme Lord. You see, it's all a matter of consciousness. Consciousness is the symptom of the spirit soul. We are the spirit soul, and that is the symptom of consciousness. Now, when we can tell the difference between a living body and a dead body. Dead body is there, that body is there, but it is of no use. Why? Because the consciousness, which is a spirit soul, has left that body. Whereas the living body is living, is alive, is conscious because of the spirit soul within the heart. So this is the first lesson of the Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to change the consciousness. That is very, very important, because until and unless we take on the knowledge and change our consciousness, we will not be able to make much progress on this path of Bhakti Yoga. Actually, this material world is a place for us to rectify ourselves if we have, committed any sinful activities or done some wrong things or whatever it may be. It's a place for us to rectify. It is not a place for us to lord it over and think, I am the Lord of all, I survey. No. We need to understand the plan of Krishna and change our consciousness, and that will bring us happiness. So we see here even this battlefield of Kurukshetra, this battle which is taking place in this holy place of Kurukshetra, is also Krishna's plan. So Krishna is advising Arjuna to fulfill Krishna's desire and be happy. So we see here that Krishna is also trying to give credit to his wonderful devotee, and also to show him his supremacy. He showed this universal form, but now Arjuna is bewildered. He sees this universal form, he sees everything, everyone inside the body of Krishna, and he's like, now he realizes, oh, I thought this Krishna was just my best friend, but he is actually the Supreme Lord. So he starts offering obeisances to Krishna from front and from back and all sides. He is like, his voice is faltering. Imagine all of a sudden you come to know that your best friend is a very great personality, So here, Arjuna, he's speaking in faltering voice. He tells Krishna that, yes, I'm enlightened by your words, and I can now understand that you are the maintainer, you are the Supreme Lord who protects the devotees and who destroys the enemies. And at that time, when this universal form was being shown, the demigods were able to see it. Even though there were irreligious people around, they could not see it, and they could not even stand to see that effulgent universal form of Krishna. But the devotees of the Lord, yes, they understand. So now Arjuna, having realized that this is the Supreme Lord Krishna, so he started praising him with beautiful words. He praised him and said, now I understand that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that you are the cause of all causes, and you have made me understand that. So I would like to now worship you, offer you obeisances. And he also praised him by saying, you are the soul of all souls. You are all pervading. He even addressed Krishna as Mahatma, most magnanimous, someone who has unlimited potencies. He also called him Ananta. Ananta means someone who is, everything is covered by influence and energy of this Krishna. He is Ananta. He is Devesha, which means he says you are the controller of the demigods. So Arjuna, in his faltering voice, he started glorifying Krishna. And why was he offering obeisances to Krishna? Because he understood Lord, Supreme Lord means no one is equal to him and no one is above him. That is the Supreme Lord. And he even mentioned, see, we have heard over these different chapters that, that the creator, the secondary creator of the universe is actually Brahma. But who is Brahma? Brahma is born of Vishnu. Vishnu is an expansion of Krishna. And Lord Shiva, he is born of Brahma. You see? So Arjuna is offering all these prayers and offering obeisances to Krishna. And he's continuing to address Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the previous chapters, we heard a very nice verse where Krishna says, Matahas, he's talking about the pearls, how the pearls are strung on a thread. You see, if I have a bunch of pearls and if I want to wear a pearl necklace, I need to pass a thread through those pearls. Only then a necklace will be ready and I'll be able to wear it. But what is the significant thing in this necklace? It is the thread that is holding all the pearls together. So similarly, Krishna also informed us that he is that thread on whom everything and everyone is resting. In chapter 15, we will hear Krishna says, Vedescha sarver aham eva vedyo vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. That he says, I am the compiler of the Vedas and I am to be known from the Vedas. In other words, Krishna is worshipable by all because he's the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we see here that Arjuna, he was offering obeisances to Krishna, not only because he's the Supreme Lord, but because he loved Krishna so much and he accepted Krishna as his spiritual master, as the master of all. And then with that realization, Arjuna, in verse number 41, he starts asking for forgiveness. Now one may say, why? It's because Arjuna all along, he thought that Krishna is just my best friend. So, he joked with him, he played with him and, he ate with him. They sat down together and they talked, went for a walk, etc., etc. So now he's realizing, oh, I treated him just like an ordinary friend, but he is the Supreme Lord. So he's asking for forgiveness that, the way I talked to you, the way I sat with you, etc., etc. So Arjuna is remembering, his friendly relationship with Krishna. So now he's asking for being so informal, for all his informal gestures. He, thought that maybe he dishonored Krishna because of the friendship. He didn't know that this personality is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he said, I'm sorry I addressed you, oh my friend. I didn't know you are the Supreme Lord, but now I know. So here we see a loving reciprocation between Krishna and Arjuna on the battlefield. Now, one may say, why is Arjuna again and again addressing him as Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, oh my Lord, oh my Supreme? Why? It's because he wants us to understand that all the scriptures that are there, the Brahma Samhita, the Puranas, the Vedas, the Upanishads, even the Bhagavad Gita, they all give us reference that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Arjuna is trying to make us understand Krishna's supremacy, that Krishna is the spiritual master of all. And he even knew that Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita to Brahma. Brahma gave it to Narada. So here in this disciplic succession, this knowledge has been coming down. So here we see Arjuna, he is now changing his mood. He now knows that this is not just my best friend, but he is the Supreme Lord. And he knew, that Krishna knew that Arjuna's mind was disturbed, but out of great mercy of Krishna, Krishna gave him all this knowledge. And out of that mercy, he even showed this universal form. So if anyone, claims to be God, the first thing we can ask is, please give us a proof that you are the Supreme Lord. Please show us this universal form so we can understand that you are actually the Supreme Lord. Now, Arjuna, he was actually a little bewildered, seeing this universal form. So he requested Krishna, can you please change into the Vishnu form? Now one may say, why did Arjuna ask for that? He could have straight away told Krishna, please come back to your two-handed Shyam Sundar form. But no, he requested for Vishnu form. It's to show us that Vishnu comes from Krishna. It is not that Krishna comes from Vishnu. Vishnu comes from Krishna. So Krishna, two-handed form, showed the universal form. Then he changed himself to the four-handed Vishnu form that is there in the Vaikuntha. And then, also Arjuna wanted us to see that Krishna has many forms, but his two-handed Shyam Sundar form is his original form. So just to satisfy Arjuna, Krishna showed the Vishnu form. And Krishna tells Arjuna that this form that you are seeing here in the battlefield, one cannot get to see this form by studying the scriptures, by performing sacrifices, by giving a lot of charity, but by doing a lot of piety or severe penances or austerities. It is not possible to see this form because this is very, very rare. Only someone who's got a divine vision by the mercy of Krishna, only that person can see this universal form, and even the Vishnu form, which is also very, very rare. So now the question arises, can we get that divine vision? Yes. In the Brahma Samhita, there is a very beautiful verse where Lord Brahma says, Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadeva hridayeshu vilokayanti. If one has an ointment of love in their eyes, which means one has started to be in love with Krishna because of pure devotion, then one will be able to see Krishna. So that divine vision is only given to godly people. And how to become divine? Bhagavad Gita teaches us how we can change our consciousness from material consciousness to Krishna consciousness, to godly consciousness, just by becoming a pure devotee, just by chanting the holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So you see, it's not difficult at all, because this chanting of the holy names, these are very powerful sound vibrations that go into the ears and go straight to the heart and purify the heart. So this is how we can change our consciousness. So here we see that Arjuna requested for the Vishnu form, and Krishna from universal form took his Vishnu form. And this is that same Vishnu form that he had taken when he had appeared 5,000 years ago in front of his parents. Now, after seeing the Vishnu form, now Arjuna is requesting Krishna, you please come back to your original two-handed form. And Krishna has told Arjuna, Avajananti ma mudha manusham tanu ashritam, that those who are foolish, they deride me when I come in the human form. The reason he comes in a human looking form is so that we can relate to him. So thinking Krishna to be an ordinary person is a very big offense. And here we can see from this chapter that Krishna is not ordinary. He is the Supreme Lord. Now, this universal form is difficult to see, but it is more difficult to see the two-handed form of Krishna. Even the demigods, they want to see it, but they don't get an opportunity. So here we see that to really change our consciousness, we definitely need knowledge. We need to understand why we are doing what we are doing, but then also understand that we cannot do bhakti yoga based on academic knowledge or academic qualifications. No, it's not that only highly educated people can understand Bhagavad Gita. No, this is a matter of love and devotion. It has nothing to do with academic knowledge. So Krishna tells Arjuna that only by undivided devotional service, which means complete focus. You see, that is very important. So he says only by undivided devotional service can someone see me directly face to face. So to understand that, it is not very easy. We need to understand the whole Bhagavad Gita step by step, starting from chapter 1 onwards, so that we can really understand everything about basically the most important 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. Who is Supreme Lord? Who are we, the spirit soul? About karma, about material nature, and about eternal time. So the whole Bhagavad Gita revolves around these 5 subject matters. But to be really able to understand, one has to have unflinching faith in the Bhagavad Gita. That is required. And then, of course, besides knowledge, there is training required, and there's also a spiritual master required. So these are the important aspects of Bhakti Yoga. So here we can see that Arjuna, he has become totally Krishna conscious. He now understands what is the position of Krishna, and he understands what is his position. His position is that of a devotee of Krishna, a servant of Krishna. So for us to really relate to this chapter, to really understand the Bhagavad Gita, the very first step is faith. Now, this faith needs to be made more firm. Firm faith is required, and that will happen when we are in association of like-minded people. If we hear Bhagavad Gita regularly, if we chant the holy names regularly, then Krishna says that I will bestow that mercy upon that person, that yogi, that bhakti yogi, who is sincerely endeavoring to understand him. So here in this chapter also we are almost towards the end of this chapter, we also learn from Krishna that this universal form of Krishna is temporary. It's not a permanent form. It is only for those who are interested in seeing the universal form. It is not what the devotees are looking for. The devotees, they understand that Krishna is the original form. He is the cause of all causes. So, in fact, you see, there are so many great personalities over there in the battlefield when just before this war was about to begin. But not everyone could see that universal form because they didn't have the divine eyes. Of course, a partial universal form was shown to Bhishma, to Drona, to Karna, to Vidura, to Sanjaya, to sages and Duryodhana, when Krishna had gone to make peace, to avoid this war. But it is said that even Dhritarashtra, who was a blind king, was given the sight for just a few moments to see that universal form. And yet, Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, they did not understand that they were being irreligious, that they were doing the wrong thing, that they were being sinful. They did not take advantage of Krishna showing them that partial universal form. So here we see that at Kurukshetra, Krishna showed this form to Arjuna. And of course, Sanjaya could see it because he was the one who was given divine vision by his spiritual master Vyasadeva. So he was able to see what is happening on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And of course, some demigods also were able to see from the heavenly planets. So this is how this chapter ends, chapter number 11, entitled The Universal Form. So as I was saying, for us to change our consciousness, for us to become fully Krishna conscious, it's important that we chant the holy names on a daily basis. So as we always do, after the class, we chant for a little while, chant for a little while, so that, those of you who have, joined us for the first time, I think, let me see, Nashaya has, I think, joined us for the first time, and Ultra Motiram. So for you, I will post some links if you're interested. You can join the WhatsApp group, come to the Zoom meeting every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a YouTube channel with some more, lectures posted over there. And if you like to join WhatsApp group, you can get I post some realizations on a daily basis. So there is the Maha Mantra, which is there towards the end. So you can, if you like, you can, follow that while I just chant for a few minutes, so that, you can know how and what to chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So you see, it's very, very simple. So it's my very humble request that please chant this Maha Mantra on a daily basis, and you will notice the difference yourself. So I'm going to end here. If anyone has any questions or comments.